When it comes to support, I have been a Lucio main. I love to switch things up occasionally and play some other support heroes. The last few weeks I've been focusing on Ana, and this is what I learned. Hey guys, I'm Damesies from the Omnic Post. As some of you might know, I am both a tank and a support player. Always have been. And of course I have my main heroes on both of those roles. On tank that would be, well, take a guess. Beer. And a support that always has been Lucio. He was the first ever hero I played during the Overwatch 1 beta, which was a long time ago. And I have stuck with him ever since. Most of the time. Because I do like to switch things up once in a while. I play some Moira, Kiriko, Zenyatta. The one hero I always wanted to play more and get better at was Ana. Because she is one of the strongest support heroes in all of the game. Maybe even one of the strongest heroes, period. So in the last few weeks and months, I've been focusing a little more on playing Ana. A lot more actually, and these are 5 things that I learned. Now I do have to add that I am a platinum player, making his way back to diamond. So this is not top 500 advice. The thing is, you are most likely not top 500 yourself, because there are very few of them. 500 to be exact. And people on that rank definitely play the game very different from us in gold, platinum, or diamond. But let's get cracking. Lesson number 1. To scope or not to scope. Not too long ago, I was playing Ana on stream, and someone commented that they found it really weird that I play Ana unscoped most of the time. I realized that Widowmaker, for instance, plays scoped about 95% of her time. And sure, Ana has that same option, but that doesn't mean she should. It isn't always the best way. See, much of this has to do with your positioning, which is very critical on Ana. But look, if you are a high-level player in a team that communicates or that is organized, you'll use choke points way better. You'll play higher ground. You'll sometimes just fight off point. These are all very different strategies that do require communication and a decent understanding of the game strategy. So these high-level Ana players kind of get the chance to set up where they want what is best, preferably way in the back, away from the enemy team and out of the sight of enemy snipers. And they'll have their own sniper or fellow support to back them up in case a wild Sombra should appear. I myself play at the level where Brigitte will charge in all by herself and die in 3 seconds. On that level, I stand where I can rub off a pesky flanker on a tank or DPS like it is dog poop that needs to be scraped off a booth. Because if I fall back too far, I'm dead. My team does not give one single f***. Well, usually they don't. Doesn't matter how much I ping an enemy flanker or how much Ana is screaming that she is in trouble. And I could even set off fireworks that turns into a huge dragon that is holding a sign that says Ana needs help, and it would still ignore me. I made a whole video on that helping your supports topics a few weeks ago. I'll leave a link below. But to make a long story short, depending on the mode, my team comp, the enemy team comp, the phase of the fight, I'll either be a few feet behind my team or basically on the tail of my tank. And when I fall back a little bit, I'll be kind of using the corners to stay alive, or obstacles. And see, at that distance, the scoping becomes more of a practical choice. If I see someone going down really fast, I'll scope because those projectiles will hit instantly. They have no travel time. And when you shoot from the hip, they are a little slower. But most of my healing is done from the hip. Another reason I'll scope up is to hit an enemy sniper, but more about that in a second. Let's move on to the next lesson. Lesson number 2. Flasks are the shit. This is generally one of my most favorite abilities in all of Overwatch. It is so versatile. Optimizing your use of your flasks will make a huge difference in how things play out. I personally use them in 3 ways. The classic, throwing a flask on 2 or 3 teammates and follow through with some big heals. That flask will amplify your heals and you can basically bring back a whole team that is on the brink of death with that little bottle of what I really hope is not cat pee. I mean, Ana does have cat lady vibes, so... The second way to do it is of course by hitting the enemy players with that flask, which will debuff them, turning them purple as we said. When they are debuffed, they can no longer be healed. And when used at the right time or on the right target, you can break that line of defense or attack instantly. My favorite thing to do is to throw in a combo, where I throw a flask that both hits my teammates to heal them and the enemies to debuff them. It's a win-win for everybody, except for the enemy team. And for some extra points, the third way to use it is to get yourself in there, a bit of a splash, so you can heal yourself. That flask is actually my second line of defense. I love kiting a Reaper or a Sombra around an obstacle, and just as I hit the corner, I flask myself and them, and then I just shoot them in the face for 2 or 3 times, and they're either back off or they're dead. And it works even better if you combine it with lesson number 3. It is not because your sleep dart is off cooldown that you have to use it. When I started playing Ana, I was working really hard on hitting my sleep darts, which isn't easy. They are kind of slow and have a bit of a cast time to them. On top of that, you shoot it from the hip and yeah. In the beginning, I tended to miss. A lot. But once I got the hang of that, I was trying to sleep everybody, even my own teammates or the occasional wall. But as I progressed, I learned that it was smarter, a better choice to hold on to that sleep dart. For one, and the most obvious one, is to save yourself from those pesky flankers that love to kill old ladies. They get a kick out of it. But you also want to use them on meaningful targets. Just sleeping a tank because you can isn't going to help anybody. 3 seconds later, they'll be up and they'll know where you are, they'll be angry and they'll find you. Instead, hold that sleeping dart for the perfect moment, like when a Ryan is charging your own tank or your other support, with a Mata stealth ulting or a Genji. Sleep a Lucio that is wall riding and have Farah boop him into the well. It's a family business, because Farah is the daughter of Van. Never mind. It also is a good way to stop otherwise slippery heroes like a Tracer or a Genji. It feels so good when you can sleep a Tracer when she zips by. Just make sure not to wake her up unless your team knows where she is and they're focusing her. It's like swapping at a wasp. If you miss, you're going to get stung. Lesson number 4. Don't be afraid to help out on DPS. You heal, you sleep, you buff, you debuff. But you can also make a difference in the damage output. And not only with your Nano. Killing off a low health target with a flask that you throw to heal your tank, or taking out an enemy that is aiming at your Mercy. The fun thing about Ana's damage is that it ticks a little longer. So if you hit him and they dive around the corner, they might still die because your damage keeps ticking for just a mere second. Look, you do not need to be the sniper counter, but you can force a sniper or even another enemy DPS by just tapping him once or twice with your shots. That usually sends a very clear message. But again, make sure to reposition afterwards. And lesson number 5, choose your Nano targets wisely. And no, that is not always Genji. Although, look, it is a good combo, but not every Genji can make it happen. And sometimes there might be a better choice. A Reaper, a Soldier, Reinhardt, or, and that is one of my favorites, Bob. A glowing Bob. It's so glorious. And other times you'll Nano someone to save them from dying. It gives them that initial heal, which is rather substantial. They take less damage while they're nanoed, and they can output a lot more damage themselves, which allows them to bite off whoever is targeting them. It also kind of works psychologically. When you Nano someone, the enemy team will back off. And that way you might even turn the tide at that point. In other words, don't let Genji bully you into it. They need to earn that shot of radioactive cat pig. I mean, it is canon by now, isn't it? Anyways, that was what I learned over the last 2 weeks of playing Ana. Now tell me, do you play Ana and do you have any other tips? Or would you like to learn her and was this kind of useful? Let me know in the comments. Join me during my streams on twitch.tv/DamesIsTV and make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch.